The Rockets took care of that business last night. Boy, did they ever. The first time in 1,005 days that they're over 500. 1,005 days. February of 2021. Or 2020, was it 20 or 21? 20, February 5th. Yeah, 20.
I think 20.
20.
Yeah, not 21.
20. That they have a record that's better.
You got to go back to
over
COVID
500.
playing in front of like cardboard cutouts.
Unbelievable how they just took
actually,
care of that business last time.
It was before they got to the
Now, street clothes wasn't there.
No. The Rockets started the game off 8-0, and this is when you hear the phrase boat race, once one boat gets ahead, you're using the same, like there is no separate technology. This isn't car racing or whatever. You're just kind of at the disposal of what you have and the wind and all that other stuff, right? So boat race means once one boat gets out ahead, it pretty much just stays the same. And that's exactly what yesterday was, a boat race. The Rockets got up 8-0, and literally for the rest of the game, it was very minor skirmishes here and there, but for the most part, they just basically held shop and did whatever they wanted to. And it was impressive for so many different reasons. I think first and foremost, they showed the ability to beat, frankly, an inferior team. Yep. The Lakers didn't even look like they belonged on the same court with the Rockets.
No, listen, we've talked about this before, but where a coach makes the biggest impact in which sport, I mean, we were even talking about this yesterday. I mean, whoever comes in is going to have a good baseball team, is going to win 85 games or more with the Houston Astros, right? It's going to be hard to screw this thing up. Unless you're a total idiot and you can't put together a lineup or bring in relievers. I mean, honestly. So baseball is probably the smallest impact with a manager.
Yeah.
Look at what D'Amico's doing with the Texans. A coach, of course, the quarterback it has to be right, but he's also getting coached up in a great way. But look at the difference in this team.
Well, scheme matters in football. I mean, he's also changed culture, like the expectations.
Well, look at the culture change for the Rockets.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's really both. It's scheme, but in basketball, I think it's the playing hard. Now, they did change the makeup of the team, which was very, very important.
Huge.
So
but those guys didn't even – I mean, Fred VanVleet is 2 for 11 or whatever he was.
9 assists.
Brooks, 9 assists.
No, I'm sorry, 10 assists.
Yeah. And then Dylan Brooks was like 3
Dylan
of 6
Brooks was
or whatever.
2
for 6.
Just a defensive guy.
He was there, but they set a tone. Listen, this was another game in which the Lakers are in the 60s after 3 quarters. What is going on with this?
Yeah.
You want to talk, and that's where I'm talking about defense. That's where I'm talking about culture. That's where I'm talking about the coach. If Steven Silas had this team with Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet, would they be like this?
They'd be better, but I don't think I don't know because I think subtracting KPJ is a major factor.
I don't know that this is a KPJ thing.
It's not all KPJ, but I think subtracting him from Jalen Green, I think the combination of those two, I think there was some enabling going on. I think it was important, and I know the Rockets organization loves KPJ and all this stuff, but I think subtracting a guy who, number one, from a basketball standpoint, should not have been at the point. Too sticky. Ball gets too sticky. Have you noticed how non-sticky the basketball is right now? It's because the system requires, there is a lot of ball movement programmed into plays that are designed. I was watching one where Dylan Brooks brings the ball up court, and then Fred VanVleet comes off of a screen, catches the ball, then he makes a pass and comes off of a low screen, comes up to the top, and he comes underneath that. Like, there are plays they are running that requires ball movement. It's a way of, I think, programming the Rockets to get used to ball movement as opposed to Rocket basketball, for the better part of the last 23 years, and you can even go back to Olajuwon, has been ball goes to one guy, and then one guy makes moves and either complements somebody else, whether it's James with drive and dish, whether it's Steve and Coutinho, iso ball, whether it's Charles Barkley isolating, Akeem Olajuwon down on the low post making moves. Houston Rockets basketball has primarily been one guy makes a move and then can get other people involved. This is one of the first times that I've seen, and I watched Rocket basketball my whole life, and this is one of the first teams where movement is the primary focus, and it's not ISO, and I'm going to take you off the dribble.
26 assists on 51 baskets. That's pretty good in today's NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, over half.
Their assist numbers are way higher than last year.
Yes. I mean, it just was so watching Steven Coutinho and James Harden at times it's not fun basketball. This is fun. This is a bunch of guys that feel like in their defensive intensity. Now, it was 71 points through three quarters, so anybody, I know I said it 60. It was 71.
Well,
it was
they
60
gave it all
for
up in the third.
Yeah, in the third.
Third, Lakers started making baskets. And
Yeah.
26
points in the third quarter, which is still, that's just 26 points.
And almost went over. It got dangerously close to being an over.
Oh, what?
223.5 was the over-under. They hit 222.
How would you know that?
Because it got dangerously close.
But I
had a friend sweat in the game who texted me like, these stupid bleeping Lakers.
So
somebody play defense. I'm like, they're not going to play. The defense is going to be more optional
not in the fourth quarter.
now,
Not with those guys on the floor.
Thank God they brought in Boban.
They weren't playing any defense in the fourth quarter. But then I got John Granada hates Jalen Green.
Yeah.
How does John think about Jalen?
Yeah. Now what? Are we gonna start being more?
Do I have to apologize to Jalen Green?
Yeah. Are you gonna apologize to
because when
Jalen Green and Jeff
sucks,
Bagwell?
I say Jalen Green sucks. When Jalen Green doesn't take a big step last year, like Jalen Green was supposed to take a big step, I say Jalen Green didn't take a big step. Now, the big difference, there's a huge difference. I don't think it's KPJ. I think it's Fred VanVleet, okay? That's a much better.
But there's no KPJ.
Well, but even if KPJ was there, he's influenced.
He can't get in the...
KPJ was still there when Jalen Green immediately...
Who's better for this team?
When Fred VanVleet was signed, Jalen Green was at his house that next day working out with him. KPJ was still on the team at that time. KPJ would not be getting in the way of the way Jalen Green is playing right now. Jalen Green is playing this way for two reasons. Ime Udoka... and because of Fred VanVleet.
Well, here's what we don't know. And I don't know this either. I mean, I really don't. I haven't heard this or anything. I do know that they were tight, KPJ and Jalen Green. He's not there in the locker room. He's not there on the road trips.
Yeah.
He's not there on the off days. He's not coming off the bench before Jayshawn Tate. Jayshawn Tate has that dog.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and Jayshawn Tate, and I know that some basketball fans love Kevin Porter Jr. could put up numbers now. There's different times he could put up numbers, and the flashes are really fun to watch. But Jayshawn Tate is, and this all sounds so cliche, but it's so true. He's a glue guy. He's a Mario Elie. He is a PJ Tucker. He's a guy that does nasty work. He puts in nasty work. The block shot that they went and challenged, that they had called a foul, I could see right off the bat. I'm like, dude, that's a block. Unless he body to body, that was a great block. He swallowed the basketball on Hachimura when he was going to the rim. This is Jayshawn Tate. There's so many dominoes that have come into effect with some of the moves that were made from a free agency standpoint and what Udoka sees. But the point I made about 3 or 4 days ago about Jalen Green before he started playing well is don't give up on him too early because he has never had structure. He's never had the coaching like Ime Udoka is going to give him. And when it comes around and he starts buying into coach, it's not even the buy-in. It's really just this is the first time, more than likely in his career, he has had a guy really say, this is what's going to happen. This is not where you can leave G League Unite after 6 games. It's not an AAU team where you can switch from team to team if you want to, and it's not Steven Silas. This is where the players ran the players ran over Steven Silas. This is, oh no, I'm the guy. My name's Ime Udoka. Well, good, nice to meet you. I worked under Greg Popovich. There's a way of doing things, and we're going to do it my way. And I've got the organization's blessing. I think most importantly.
That is the most important thing. Ime Udoka is running this show. The players aren't, and it's a huge difference. But look at everybody now. Tari Eason is back, which is
how
nice.
Good was that?
Jay
he had
Sean,
9 rebounds.
Look at the guys that are going to be coming off the bench. And Jeff Green is probably going to see his minutes. He's got to see his minutes diminish a little bit because Tari Eason is back. You got to play Jayshawn Tate and Aaron Holiday. I could certainly see this as an 8-man rotation right now where Aaron Holiday is going to play a role. Jayshawn is going to continue to play a role because he does all the things like you just said. But you got to play Tari Eason. You have to play Tari Eason.
He's going to love Jeff Green. I don't know how. I think Holiday. But those guys, there's some replication in terms of positional. So
absolutely.
I don't know how it works because I know he's going to love veterans. Every coach loves Jeff Green because he doesn't do bad things. Like he generally plays plus basketball. Well, Amen Thompson, when he gets back from his injury, where does Amen?
I think his minutes are going to be slight too.
Well, who's the guard who's going to play ahead of him?
Aaron Holiday's going to get minutes.
I don't think so.
I do.
Amen's first round pick, and I think the defense and the explosiveness. Here's what you can't have: Jay-Sean Tate, Jeff Green, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. Those are all non-explosive guys. You have to have some explosive athleticism on the court. Like one thing, the Rockets have downgraded explosiveness. They've upgraded everything else: basketball IQ, defense. Like everything else has been an upgrade. The only guy that can really go get a shot off the dribble right now is Jalen Green. I mean, and Şengün can too, as long as he's singled up. But who's the other guy who can get to the rim? Amen Thompson can. Tari Eason, but he kind of just gets it in structure.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this: don't sleep on the way Aaron Holiday plays.
Yeah,
the way he plays, I'm telling you, that to me looks like an Ime kind of guy.
Yeah,
his energy, and he does get to the hole too. I mean, he ain't scared to drive the lane. I'm telling you, and Amen is a young guy who can't shoot. Where are you gonna get the shots when Amen Thompson's on the floor? It'll be interesting to see what happens then. But we see Tari Eason back. That's nice. We saw a Rockets team just destroy the Lakers last night. That was fun.